After nearly 2 decades, we're getting an all-new 2D sequel to 2002's Metroid Fusion. This is Metroid 5. This time around, bounty hunter Samus Aran is tasked with heading to the planet ZDR to take on some rather creepy robot enemy. So how is it? Well, let's take a look at what some of the early reviews have to say about this new side-scrolling adventure from Sakamoto, Nintendo EPD, and the team at Mercury Steam. Here's what the critics think of Metroid Dread for Nintendo Switch. Cody Gravel, writing at Screen Rant, notes how Dread doesn't shy away from the horror elements that have always existed underneath the premise of Metroid, adding that this new entry represents a galaxy-sized leap forward for the franchise, with the end result being something that's an instant classic. 5 out of 5. Richard Atkinson at My Nintendo News notes that this entry ties up what is now essentially a 35-year-long story arc that started with the original Metroid on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's an exquisite showcase of 2D Metroid that offers an explosive and emotional experience, one that cannot be missed. 9.5 out of 10. Matt S for Digitally Downloaded came away from Dread feeling quite conflicted, noting that it feels like the teams behind the series aren't quite sure what to do with it. He adds that this new entry is fundamentally well designed and overall Dread is fine, but ends by saying overall it's not just nearly memorable enough for a game that fans have been waiting so many years for. 3.5 out of 5. Andy Robinson at VGC notes that this entry strikes a near perfect balance of nods to the past and fresh ideas, adding that with this, developer Mercury Steam has proven itself as a worthy custodian of the series. He concludes by saying Dread is the comeback that fans have been waiting for. 5 out of 5. Josh West for Games Radar writes that Metroid Dread is built upon refined and established foundations, but noted that there's something about the execution of this long-awaited sequel that left him feeling a little cold. This chiefly came down to frustrating boss battles and cumbersome controls that ultimately distracted from an otherwise fun and isolating adventure. 3.5 out of 5. Chris Carter at Destructoid notes that this experience has been carefully crafted with existing fans in mind, but is still accessible enough to newcomers. The result is a reliable adventure that is worth your time and cash. 8.5 out of 10. PJ O'Reilly, writing at Nintendo Life, calls Metroid Dread a triumphant return both for Samus Aran and developer Mercury Steam, calling it a super slick, hugely entertaining and exquisitely designed entry in the series. A 10 out of 10. So those are just a few of the early highlights, like the review highlights. I've included links to all of the reviews that I've quoted in the description below, so please do go check out their work. And if you want some more, I've also linked up both Metacritic and OpenCritic should you want to seek out some more opinions on this new Metroid entry. I've got my copy, so I'm looking forward to jumping in. I guess the only thing I'm really wondering is, why can't Metroid crawl?